Hi everyone, we are in chapter 5, which is our chapter on emotions and emotional expression. This chapter I think can be very powerful because a lot of times if you really think about it, our relationships suffer because one or more of the partners are not willing to express themselves emotionally. How often do we get in a relationship where the person that we're trying to connect with, for whatever reason, is uncomfortable expressing their emotions? So holding back emotional expression can really hurt, especially an intimate relationship, and really keep that relationship from progressing forward. So this chapter is great in that it really looks at the different types of emotional expression, the benefits of emotional expression. I think it's really important to pay attention to some of the guidelines for emotional expression. So when they talk about picking the right time and place to express yourself, all those really important things. So those are good. One area that I think it's important to think about as well is gender. So gender and culture are actually a reoccurring theme in every single chapter that we study. And I think when we look at the emotions chapter, it's important to consider gender. So in the United States, in the world that we live in, we really train our men, really if you stop and think about it, from when they're little, to hold back emotion. We've heard and probably read a lot of research on the inexpressive male. And so it's funny if you think about it, like we're telling our boys when they're little that big boys don't cry and to man up. My husband tells my boys that all the time, and I'm like, oh my gosh, do not say that to them. But constantly like man up, suck it up. Like we see it in sports where boys, even young boys, like want to cry for whatever reason, but they learned literally how to physiologically shut down the crying mechanism, and that becomes a coping mechanism for them. They can stop that crying. But it's funny because these men grow up, and then as adult women, we want to be in a relationship with these men. And then we're frustrated because they're not emotionally expressive, where we've trained them since they were little to hold back their emotion and not cry and not show feelings. And then we're mad at them when we're in an adult relationship and they're not willing to do that. So I really think it's important in this gender section to stop and think about that. And if you're male, to think about, is this true for you? Has this affected your life? If you're female, have you been in a relationship with a male who's maybe been a little bit more inexpressive? How can we get our men to feel more comfortable expressing their emotions when we really reinforced all along that they shouldn't? So I don't know if there's an answer to that question, but I think it's something that should definitely be in your brain when you're reading that section and looking over all these different ideas around emotion. And keep that in mind for your own life as well. So have fun with the chapter, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.